Hey, this is Matt once again. What about the videos? The paid request. It's time for Shawn. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send them. Uh, the links to PayPal and such are down below in the info box. It'll be for pretty much any type of video. And it's for a commentary of Halloween 2 from 1981. So 3, 2, 1, pressing play. Halloween 2 from 1981. This is a film that was my introduction to the Halloween films, actually. I saw this on VHS. It was from a store, regional store called Shopko. Shopko, Shopko. And it was a VHS where you had Jamie Lee Curtis on one side, Donald Pleasence on the other, and on the bottom there was a pumpkin with a face on it. Now, I don't know why I decided to check out Halloween 2, but the cover was interesting. I was a little kid, and it was years I would watch this film over and over again, and I had not seen the first one. All I knew of the first one was the ending here. Now, maybe that would chalk it up to why this is my favorite, but I've always enjoyed this more the night he came home. I love the Donald Pleasence in it. I love the hospital setting. I love the mood and atmosphere. I thought the score was really good. It's my favorite Halloween score. And of course, here's the ending of the first Halloween, sending the kids out. Michael Myers gonna get it for his yet again, one more. So the kids are screaming. This is where you get the music, and love this version of the Halloween theme. I think they did a really good job with it. That was very effective. Now, and the original Halloween I didn't see till years afterward, and enjoyed. I mean, the Halloween films, I like the first 4. I like Halloween H2O. Despite the awful opening, I do enjoy the rest of Halloween Resurrection. I do. It's fun. B-movie. Buster Rhymes. Treat, motherfucker. Other than that, no. I thought this was actually the right edit where they cut his face. You don't see his face. That should have been in the first film. And I thought that was. So when I saw the first film, you see more of his face. I'm like, what? But I think it should have been that edit was better. Now, I don't know why there's 7 gunshots. They did a mess up there. Yeah, but for some reason there's not 7 shots in the pistol. You know, a 6-shooter. That's why it's called a 6-shooter. So I don't know why they have 7 bullets. That was always one of those annoying elements that wasn't like that in the first film. The first film there were 6 shots. He even says, I shot him 6 times. So why there were 7 shots there, I have no idea. And also, they added this thing where Donald Pleasence looked over the banister and saw that Michael Myers was missing. Now he looks and he realizes he's missing from this front door. So there's little things I don't really get why they changed it up a bit, but I actually didn't mind the idea of a sequel because Michael Myers is still out there. He did hit him. And I thought Donald Pleasence really sold this. You know, I shot him 6 times. Just completely dumbfounded. Now, I think in the trailer there's a different voice for this guy. I don't know why they changed it. I do like this line. You don't know what death is. I thought that was a really good line. Great usage of the music. I love this version of the music. It's my favorite score of all the Halloween films. And go into orange credits. So again, despite some nitpicks I have at the beginning, there's still enough elements I like. Like I said, I like that line reading. You don't know what death is. I like Donald Pleasence. I love the the music. Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is the only film where you see them on screen together. Because in the first film, as you saw there, you see one shot of Donald Pleasence, you see one shot of Jamie Lee Curtis, but you never see them in the same frame. This is the only Halloween of all of them you see them in the same frame. That's another aspect I liked about this. Now, John Carpenter did not want to direct again because he thought there's nothing more that could be said. Eddie hates this movie. But dude, this movie's better than any of the new Halloween films. Sorry, man. I know you getting paid. I know you're getting a paycheck. I know they're letting you and your son do the music. But these new films are trash. This film is way better than the new shit. I'll take Halloween 2 from 81 over any of this new Halloween shit. And I would guarantee I'm not alone in that. So sorry, John. I love you, man. You're my favorite director, but stop being a grumpy bitch. Halloween 2 is not that bad. I like the sister angle. I think that's a cool angle. It has a little bit of Star Wars where you are my father, you are my brother. But hey, I think it works. I liked it. I like the cast. Leo Rossi, who would be in quite a few films, including the Relentless films, and Mark Goldblatt, the editor. I forgot Mark Goldblatt. He would go on to direct The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren in '89, and he would edit Rambo First Blood Part 2 and edit stuff for, I think he helped edit Predator 2, and he worked with James Cameron. John Carpenter and Alan Howarth did a wonderful job on the music. Again, love the score to this. Wonderful score. I love the review of the skull here. Thought that was a nice... I try to remember the first one, what they did. But I love this review. I think it's a cool reveal. Dean Cundey worked with John Carpenter a lot. He also would work with Robert Zemeckis and a lot of other high-profile directors. Of course, this is directed by Rick Rosenthal, who would go on to direct Halloween Resurrection. I can't remember what else he's done. I thought Rick Rosenthal did a pretty good job in trying to capture the mood and atmosphere of John Carpenter. And John Carpenter's the one that wanted more gore, because he felt, well, after Friday the 13th, these movies need more gore. We can't be too tame. So if you're mad that there's more gore, blame John Carpenter, not Rick Rosenthal. But I thought Rick Rosenthal did a nice job trying to capture, like, this whole shot here. Camera moving around. I mean, it looks... Rick Rosenthal made it look like a John Carpenter film. And I think that is big praise. With the help of Dean Cundey and all this stuff, he made it look like a John Carpenter movie. With the way this is shot, the way this POV is, the usage of the widescreen, he made it look like a John Carpenter film. And it's not easy to do, because not everyone can do that. Again, this is I'm still confused. I shot him 6 times. I don't know what the fuck doing. I shot him 6 times. Now, Donald Pleasence, of course, had been in James Bond films. What was it? You Only Live Twice, I believe. You can tell he was the main inspiration for Dr. Evil when Austin Powers came around. What other big movies would he have been in? Because I just keep thinking of him as Loomis, Dr. Loomis in the Halloween films. Oh, there's a scene that they stole for, was it Halloween Kills or Halloween 2018? Or both. One of those, they stole this scene here, where Michael goes in and gets the knife. There's one of those. For how much this was hated, they fucking stole off from this movie. The horror marathon continues. It was the theme from Another World, and now it's Night of the Living Dead. I want to steal your knife. Psych. Yeah, you keep watching. Take the Coca-Cola. Take your knife. Psych. Sorry, bitch. My knife now. And that's kind of a creepy idea that a killer could just come in, take your shit, and just leave. And it kind of makes it effective where you don't know when and where he's going to strike. See, in the new one, he would just kill both of these as brutal as possible, move on. But as the shape, the shadow, it's like you don't know when he's going to pop up. And I thought Dick Warlock did a good job as Michael Myers. I know Debra Hill later on badmouthed him and said, he walked too slow. And Dick Warlock had good response. It's like, lady, I asked you. You said it was fine. Now you say it's not fine? Then why the hell didn't you tell me before? He didn't say it that way, but that's why I would have been. Oh, Debra Hill, I mean, I'm sorry what happened to her later on. She just didn't seem like the nicest lady. I'm sorry. But both her and John Dart seem like grumpy asses. Like, come on. Stop being so damn grumpy. I know Debra Hill's passed away and it's too bad, but still. And again, as much as I love John Carpenter, there are times he's just too much of a grumpy asshole. I don't know, maybe he needs to smoke some more weed and relax or something. But yeah, 1981, this is when slasher films were very much in the prominence. Like, I don't know if I could maybe go on here and find the list of slasher films that come out in the 80s, but it's just tremendous amount. Just a tremendous amount of slasher films. Now, of course, there's stuff before, like Black Christmas. You could argue whether Texas Chainsaw Massacre fits in that or not. But after Friday the 13th and how successful it was for Paramount, every studio wanted it. Especially one of the reasons why they wanted a new Halloween film. Just think about it. First one came out in 1978. When Friday the 13th was a huge hit, then it's like, oh shit, we gotta have a sequel to this movie. Yeah, she ain't gonna make it. Surprise, motherfucker. Let me think. 80s slasher. If I learn how to spell. Okay, so I found a list, but I'm going to see if I can. There's a way to do it where it's based on release date. I think there is, I just have to find it. Yeah, this is when you find, of course, the characters that died in the first one, and one of them, like Jamie Lee Curtis, for understand, had shorter hair by this point, so they had to put this wig on her, which I know everybody comments on. I don't know, I was indifferent on it. And of course, you find out the sheriff's daughter. Well, you don't find out, you knew in the first one, but the sheriff's daughter finds out that his daughter's dead. But yeah, Leo Rossi, you have Lance Guest. Of course, Lance Guest. Leo Rossi's there driving, and isn't Lance Guest at the back of the... Trying to remember. Yeah, Lance Guest. There's the last Starfighter. The last Starfighter himself. Also the star of Jaws 4: The Revenge. But that's why I like Lance Guest. I like the fact that it takes place in a hospital. I always thought this was a cool setting for a slasher film. Now, I know my friend Afri absolutely hated this scene because I guess it almost happened to him. But I mean, Sally, again, this stuff happens and showcasing the dangers of it all. Oh my god, ew. The dangers of having this shit in there and be careful for it. Sort of a word of warning to people. If you're not gonna listen to us, we're gonna show it to you so you can fucking listen. So I mean, just this some of the '80s don't go in the Microwave Massacre, which is really bad but kind of a funny movie. I thought. Don't Go in the House. Terror on Tour, which is probably it's one of the worst '80s slasher films. To All Good Night. Of course, Friday the 13th, Maniac, Prom Night. Motel Hell, maybe you could call it, I don't know, some would not. Mother's Day, that's pretty bad. Faded Black is pretty good. Terror Train is one of my favorites of that era. New Year's Evil is pretty bad with the guy, New Year's Evil. Home Sweet Home is awful. You got the guy from Body by Jake being completely over the top. My Bloody Valentine is easily one of the best. Road Games is more of a thriller, but that's a damn good movie, which also Jamie Lee Curtis hates for some reason. But you have films like Bloody Moon, Bloody Birthday, you have The Burning, Graduation Day, Happy Birthday to Me, Final Exam, Student Bodies, Hell Night, Don't Go in the Woods, Nightmare on the Damaged Brain, Just Before Dawn, Madman, The Prowler, Blood Song, Boarding House, The Forest. I mean, you got The New York Ripper, Slumber Party Massacre, Silent Rage, Death Valley, Ghost Dance, Visiting Hours, Humongous, Girls Night Out, Pieces, sequels to Friday the 13th, the Halloween films, Unhinged, National Lampoon's Class Reunion, Alone in the Dark, and the list goes on and on. Mortuary, Sweet 16, The Final Terror, Psycho 2, Mountaintop Motel Massacre, Fatal Games. Now, I don't know why the sheriff keeps saying you let him out. I mean, he didn't let him out. He never let him out. And that's why I feel sorry for Dr. Loomis. He didn't let him out. He warned them to keep him in. He's like the only person to warn them to keep him in. He's not the one who let him out. So I get that. This is before he finds out his daughter's dead. I get it, like, after he finds out he's not in his right frame of mind. But before, he's like, you let him out. No, he didn't let him out. So shut up. Fuck you talking about, Charles Cyphers? But yeah, I go through some of these, and it's like, if I did like quick 1, 2, 3 word things. Don't Go in a House, decent in the vein of Maniac. Soundscream, forgettable. Terror on Tour, one of the worst. Till All Good Night, not that good. Friday the 13th is okay. Maniac, good and gory. Prom Night, not much of a fan. Terror Train, one of my favorites. He Knows You're Alone, kind of boring. Schizo, pretty shitty. Faded Black, pretty good. New Year's Evil, silly. Home Sweet Home, even sillier. My Bloody Valentine, one of the best. Road Games, damn good. Funhouse, it's okay. Happy Birthday to Me, stupid Mission Impossible wannabe ending. The Burning, I liked. Oh yeah, of course, this is the whole thing with, was it Ben Tramer? I mean, that mask was at a Halloween shop, so you would assume someone else would have it. Because remember, he took it from a shop, So that wouldn't be the only mask. Is it him or not? That's why you should be watching your ass when you cross the street. You should be watching your ass when you cross the street, motherfucker. God damn it, man. Watch both ways before you cross the fucking street, you fucking asshole. Sorry, replying. Now, I know this is an element. People complain about this. How come the hospital is so empty? I don't know. I mean, I don't go to the hospital a lot, thankfully. So I wouldn't know. Again, thankfully I don't go to the hospital a lot, so I wouldn't fucking know. So, we'll see what happens. But you know, it makes for a good view. It makes for a good atmosphere for a horror film. I'll say that. I'll say that. And that's why I excuse it. I excuse it because I thought it made for a better horror film, and I could deal with it. I could deal with, the hospital being more empty than usual. That's just me, though. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. I thought Lance Diaz did a good job, and he had some decent chemistry with Jamie Lee Curtis for maybe a possible romance. That's why I didn't mind if you watch the TV cut. The ending was extended. In the TV cut, when she's in the ambulance, she thinks she sees somebody, and it is somebody, but it's Lance Guest. And it's like, we both made it. I don't know why they cut that out. I just thought it was much more memorable that was just by herself with the Mr. Sandman song. Now, I think one of these is Dana Carvey. I think it's like one of the people. I forget who. Dana Carvey is somewhere around here, like in the background. I might have missed them already. But yeah, Dana Carvey, Lady on SNL, Wayne's World. I don't think he has any lines of dialogue, but he's like in the background in one of these shots. And then he wants to blame Dr. Loomis, and Loomis didn't do anything wrong. It makes me feel sorry for him more and root for him more. He didn't do anything. He didn't let him out. He warned you multiple fucking times. What else was he supposed to do? Dan, he didn't let him out, you dumbass. I know you lost your daughter, but don't be a dumbass. So now you have this other actor being the police official for... Well, it makes sense. If a guy finds out his daughter... But you think it would make him more adamant to want to catch this guy. And that's the thing. They could have written it where Charles Cypher's more adamant to make sure we got this guy. And he believes even more in Dr. Loomis, not less. I love Dr. Loomis. I love Donald Pleasence and his dialogue. I didn't think he acted drunk like Rob Zombie thought. See, Rob Zombie, he didn't know what the hell he was doing trying to remake Halloween. He didn't even like this film. I don't care what he says. When he's like, I mean, he didn't like this one, but he didn't even like the first one. Dr. Loomis always seemed drunk. I don't like the Michael Myers drove. I don't like the. Yeah, well, Rob, I don't like that he's 8 feet tall. I don't like that he just. You having a guy making Michael Myers to smell his fingers after touching some pussy. I don't like a lot of things in your movie either, Rob. And you did a much worse job. So maybe you should shut up, Rob. Fucking Robbie. Like I said, you look at the camera work, it's pretty good at trying to capture that John Carpenter feel. And the way it's lit, too. Like, the way this town is lit. Maybe that's old school 80s photography, the kind of film they use. I love the look of these type of films. Even the way it looks and the lighting, the color scheme. It looks like an actual film. That's a big-ass boombox. Of course, him listening to where Laurie Strode is and his next destination will be. And you say this is him, a low profile. Don't mind me, I'm just trick-or-treating. Fuck out my face. Kind of the thing that, evil is in the midst of the crowd, but no one notices. The biggest trick of the devil is to make people think he doesn't exist. Now, I do have the Stream Factory Blu-ray, which is a pretty good Blu-ray. Pretty good. Let me just... It's got the Blu-ray that's in there now. It's got a bonus disc, which is the theatrical cut. You have the... But I actually like the poster they have for this even better. I think that's really simple, but very effective. From the people who brought you Halloween more of the night he came home. Actually, Halloween 2 is good enough to deserve a sequel of its own. By the standards of most recent horror films, it's like its predecessor, it's a class act. Janet Maslin of the New York Times. I agree with that. After Leah Rossi's a lot of fun. Whether it be Amazing Grace, come sit on my face. I like your pie. That, or he keeps cursing a lot, and he's like, what can I say? I guess I fuck up sometimes. Well, Leo Rossi's a lot of fun. Like, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in the Corey Haim film, Fast Getaway and Fast Getaway 2. Been quite a few of stuff. Any of the special features on this, you got theatrical cut, you got the TV cut. Commentary with the director Rick Rosenthal, and actor Leo Rossi. Commentary of Dick Warlock. You have a documentary with Rick Rosenthal, Dick Warlock, Lance Diaz, Leo Rossi, Nancy Stevens, Orenia Blondes, Dean Cundy, Alan Howarth. Horror's Hallowed Grounds, locations following 2 is Shawn Clark. This is when Stream Factory was worth a crap, where you had actual documentaries that were like 30, 40 minutes long, well edited together. You had the location by Shawn Clark, who's the best at doing those horrors, those horror movie locations, or just locations in general. He hasn't done them in forever. I wish he would do more of them, but I'm sure if someone would pay him, it would, but sadly no one is. And yeah, as a movie, as a sequel, I think it's a very worthy sequel. And like I say, it's one I rewatch a bit more because, like the cast in the first, I don't mind PJ Souls and stuff, but I would say here, I like Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasence as well, but I also like Leo Rossi. I like Lance Guest. I like a few more people here. And I say I like the hospital setting because the hospital is creepy enough as it is, with the way it's lit and how the corridors can create a bit of a claustrophobic area. It's expansive enough to have a lot of room to navigate, but at the same time, there's still be a bit of claustrophobia as well. And yeah, I don't know how hospitals are in small towns. I don't know how empty or not empty they are. I will admit, when I first saw this, and many times I saw this, I never really thought of it. I don't know if anybody making the film ever thought of that too. Like, why is the hospital so empty? It's not too empty. There are the babies. Yeah, don't have Michael Myers kill the babies. Surprised David Gordon Green didn't do that. Wouldn't do any other. Or kill all the babies. Nah, don't kill the babies. I wonder, do nurses still wear those type of hats like in this? I wonder if they still do. Like I said, I haven't been in a hospital in forever, thankfully. So I don't know if nurses still wear those hats or not. I don't know why Jamie Lee Curtis complaining, like, this is the best job. I get to lie in a bed for most of it. I don't know, her wig, I've seen worse wigs. It didn't bother me as much as others. Like I said, I've seen much worse wigs. I know it just didn't bother me as much as others. I didn't know what else they could do either. Like, she had cut her hair. I just wait long enough to grow her hair back. Plus, it's been 3 years. If that's the least of the if that's the most of the movie's worries, then it's not too bad of a movie. Let's see, other horror films that take place in a hospital. Sound Rage is pretty good with Chuck Norris. Chunks of that is in a hospital. That's why there's edits of like Chuck Norris going after Michael Myers. Because they added this and Sound Rage, you added them together. Hospital Massacre, also known as X-Ray, wasn't that good of a movie. Has little moments here and there, but I wouldn't say I was a big fan of it. Then there was that one with William Shatner and Michael Ironside, Visiting Hours. Should have been a lot better, because you got William Shatner and you got Michael Ironside as the villain. But William Shatner barely had anything to do. Michael Ironside was barely given any dialogue. Like, Michael Ironside's a good actor, and you barely give him any dialogue. And then William Shatner versus Ironside, that would have been great, but Shatner barely gets to do anything. And I felt like it's too slow of a build up with that film. And it's not that big of a body count from what I remember. Visiting Hours, I think it's a film I wanted to like more than I really did, sadly. Yeah, there are slasher films I like, but I don't love every single slasher film either. I know there's some that love every 80s slasher film no matter what. To me, it's like everything else. There's some I like, some I don't. You know, I like Silent Madness. I like My Bloody Valentine. I like this one. I like a lot of the Friday the 13th films. I like My Bloody Valentine, April Fool's Day, Intruder. I don't mind The Final Terror. I don't mind Just Before Dawn. The Funhouse is okay. The Burning I don't mind. But The Prowler I don't like. The Mutilator I don't mind. And I know I saw the trailer to The Mutilator 2 and it looked like garbage. It looked garbage. I mean, I should, I'm not surprised. But yeah, there's a sequel to The Mutilator and it looks absolute trash. It looks god-awful. I'm like, nah, you can't replicate. Like, you need this type of filmmaking, this type of lighting, this type of photography, shooting on film, and then, well, I don't know if it's 35mm, whatever the case may be, I don't know what specifically it is. You need this type of detail. It helps with the mood, it helps with the atmosphere. Is that the cat? Yeah. Go figure, one of the typical jump scares, a cat. It's actually utilized. I mentioned this before in another commentary, but it's funny how in 1981 you had two movies that were slasher films that were part twos that involve an official, in this case a guard, in Friday the 13th Part 2, a cop, that eventually lead to them getting killed with the back of a hammer to the back of their head. Like, you take the back of the hammer to the back of a head, and go figure. Like, they both get killed the same way, and they're both somewhat police officials of some type. Again, security guard here and thing the other. I did both with the hammer and both with the back claw of the hammer. I would say between the two, I probably like this one a bit more than Friday the 13th Part 2. Because the way Michael Myers looks here, I like more than the Tater Sad Jason. I like Amy Steele, but I like the combination of Donald Pleasence and Jamie Lee Curtis more. The ending, it doesn't have that confusing what the hell happened to Paul. Was it a dream? Was it not a dream? While here's much more concrete. And thinking, yes, Michael Myers is dead. He burned up. That's another thing I liked about this, is that there is a concrete ending. There's not a sequel bit ending. You just easily say it ended here as he burns to nothing. Right through his damn mask. There's nothing left. That's why, yeah, you could technically say this should not have been an H2O and there should not have been a Halloween 2018 because he burned the fuck up. Okay, he's a roasted weenie. He's a roasted marshmallow. Got those big ass thick walkie-talkies. Nowadays it just get the cell phone. Shows how different things are nowadays. Who's there? Who the fuck is there? I don't know. You tell me. It's in the underwear. I don't know. Just being stupid. As I'm trying to do something here, though hopefully that won't screw up the audio. Because I record with a camcorder on one and then audio with Audacity on another. Because I had an older camcorder, but sadly it didn't work anymore. But it was great because it had... I could just turn on the camcorder, record the audio and video. It was just a lot easier. So maybe one day, but it costs like $400. And I'm very stingy with my money, and $400 is still a lot of money to me. So, we'll see. Man. But it's pretty much just build up to him getting killed. I mean, we know that he's going to get killed. It's just a matter of when will it get killed. That's all it comes down to. It's not if, but when. And how. That's another thing. How. There you go. So maybe technically it wasn't the back of his head, but close to his head. I don't know. The fact it was from the front makes it seem a bit more. I don't know why. I know that doesn't make sense. Poor Ben Tramer. There you go. Imagine if they did a fucking twist on that, where Ben Tramer comes back and kills some people. The Revenge of Ben Tramer. He's a zombie that puts back the Michael Myers mask on. And this corner looks familiar. Seems familiar. He wasn't the guy in Jaws, was he? Like the Roy Scheider's deputy? Because that's what he reminds me of. The guy who saw the court. He reminds me of the deputy, the Roy Scheider in Jaws and Jaws 2. I don't know if it's the same guy. If it's not, it just reminds me of. That's a nice little bit of continuity. The hole in the... Well, no, they're throwing shit at it. I just think in the first film, there's the break in the window. Get your ass away from there. One of my favorite bits in the first Halloween is down Dr. Loomis steering the shit out of the kid. Get your ass away from there. I like this light in here with the green light. Thought that's a nice little touch. Town being pissed about all this. As they're trying to figure out where to go and what to do next. There ain't shit in there, boss. Yeah, what the fuck we gonna be doing? Go back to doing what you were doing. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Ben. But yeah, Donald Pleasence, he worked, of course, with John Carpenter in State of New York, as well as Prince of Darkness. So obviously, befriended John Carpenter. And it seemed like he liked playing this role. He made a joke where they're like, well, how long are you going to keep playing Dr. Loomis? And he said a joke like, well, at least until Halloween 19 or something like that. I forget the number. But it seemed like he was willing to come back to play the role over and over again. Because I guess when you think about it, with Donald Pleasence, he never really had a franchise. Like, he never got to be part of a franchise. He never got to be part of a full series of films. And this was the only one. So, yeah, you come back for part 4. It gives him a bit of a paycheck, but also a bit of a... be put into the limelight. New legion of fans. And yeah, Halloween 4 I do like. He's one of the reasons why I liked it. Halloween 5 is just awful. 6 is awful. H2 I like. It's just too bad Donald Pleasence passed away, because it would have been nice to see Donald Pleasence in there. I mean, H2O has its problems as well. I mean, listen, the first one's a classic. This one's my personal favorite because I love the hospital setting. I love that Loomis and Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode get to be together at the end, as in working together in the same frame. The two of them beat Michael Myers. I think that's actually perfect. That the two of them are the ones that beat him at helping each other. It shows a nice definitive ending to Michael Myers. Not a sequel bait ending. Not a to be continued. I like some of the cast members like Lance Guest and Leo Rossi. He's got my favorite score of the franchise. I think it does try to capture the mood and atmosphere of the first film. Yeah, some decent bits of gore. It's not as gory as Friday the 13th, but yeah, I like the kills. The woman getting stabbed and the idea that she lifted up so high that her shoes fall off. Or the up close where the needle going to the temple. Was it the temple? It's like, yeah, it's like simple, but it's like, yeah, it gives me a queasy feeling. Halloween 3 I've always enjoyed. I never thought it was as bad as people made it out to be. I enjoyed it ever since I was a kid. Because I saw that earlier in life. And I liked the atmosphere, fantastic score. It captures more of that mood. Which maybe Dean Cundy did have a good hand in that, because you saw that bit in Halloween 3 as well. Tom Atkins did a wonderful job. I like Part 4. I think Part 4 is a good sequel. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back, so they killed the character off. Whatever. But I like Danielle Harris. I thought she did a good job as the little kid, Jamie. I like the character that Ellie Cornell plays. She's very good as the character of Rachel. I think that really helped, as those two were very likable, easy to root for characters. Donald Pleasence, is great to see him return to form. It was like a pumped up version of Halloween. I like the look of the film. I disagree with, I think it was CT from Dead Pit. He said that the film didn't look like Halloween or look cheap. I disagree. I don't think it looks that way at all. Halloween 5 does, but only Halloween 4 does. I just fill in some bit of a possible background with these two. I know John Carpenter hates this. He's like, well, I just thought of it with a case of beer, and I drank it, and I guess her brother. The idea sucks. Why does this suck so much? Like, why does this suck so much, John? Why is it so bad? Why is it that in the new ones he's so gung-ho about Laurie Strode? Why? Why is he so gung-ho about Laurie Strode? Why is it that people say it's not about her, but then it does become her by the end of the third fucking thing of your trilogy? Like, they can't make up their minds. They cannot make up their mind. Believe it or not, maybe your idea and your drunken stupor out of the blue was actually one of the better ideas for the franchise. And you're mad about that. And Jar Jar is my favorite director, but I don't kiss anybody's ass. Sylvester Stallone's my favorite actor, an action star, but I don't kiss his ass. I don't kiss John Carpenter's ass. Sorry, the idea is not that bad. Nice titties. They're nice. Nice breasts. Nice boobies. Nice mango. Well, a little less than mangoes, but oranges, peaches. You have a peach for hours. Very nice. Now I'm trying to think on... Well, other one say? Halloween 4, I think is a very worthy sequel. Halloween 5, not a fan of it at all. Jamie Daniel Harris is now on mute. And then she's with a kid who stutters. Today, Junior. And all this other stuff that they put into it. I'm like, why? Why do you have fucking this other shit in there? Why? Only God knows why. Like, why? Why do you need a stuttering kid? Why do you need 2 cops when they come in and there's clown noises? Why would a guy take care of Michael Myers for an entire damn year and not tell anybody? He didn't think, wow, this guy, he's in a coma, he never shit his pants. No, I doubt he had IV. So, well, he didn't eat or drink anything for a year. Leo Rossi probably has the least violent death. Because it's all fairly hidden. I don't know if he strangled him, but did he strangle him and he suffocated, or did he strangle him and break his neck? Yeah, I think Warlock did a great job, and I like the look of Michael Myers' mask here. I still think it looks rather good. Just like in the first movie. This is where she's going to get burned up and boiled up. Man, you don't notice your hubby's hands much, I guess. There's a little reminder of how hot it is with the scalding temperature. Pretty decent makeup effects, although we see them briefly. I know that reminds me of another scene, and was it My Bloody Valentine, where the guy gets dunked in hot scalding water and his face gets eaten up, burnt up. I think this is where the word Sam Hain is written. I swear that guy on the right I've seen in other movies too. I don't know, maybe not, but I swear I've seen that guy in other movies. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Oh yeah, I was talking about Halloween 5, like all the decisions they made in that with you, every bad decision. You have a good little girl actress, let's not let her talk. Let's have a stuttering John, stuttering kid to annoy us. Let's have cops come in that have boing boing clown noises. Let's not follow through the interesting ending of the previous. Let's just negate that. Let's kill off one of your few likable characters, Ellie Cornell, and have one of the worst characters in the franchise, Tina. It's like Tina and Corey for the 2 crappiest characters in the franchise. Like every step of the way, it's like another bad decision, another bad call. Just completely, utterly ridiculous. Halloween. The ending with Donald Pleasence character is supposed to die with a heart attack, and he just beat him with a block of wood. Because, guns didn't do anything, but tranquilizers and a block of wood, and then the man in black, which they didn't even know who the hell it was, because they literally said in interviews, yeah, we don't know who it is. Well, we'll figure it out later. Maybe it's his brother. Maybe it's someone else. I don't know. Maybe it's Batman. I don't hell if I know. They didn't know. So he comes in with a machine gun. And thankfully in jail, they let Michael Myers keep his mask on. They didn't. Nah, we feel bad. Let him keep his mask on. Everything about that movie sucks. I hate that movie so badly. And sadly, I think Halloween Ends is worse. That's what's sad about that. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, Paul Rudd playing a character that just laughs in moments he shouldn't. Like, he always has this dumb look. I don't think he fit in that role. Donald Pleasence is heavily underused. You redo Jamie, the casting, and then you kill her off. And just all this other stupid stuff they put in there. And then at the end of the film, you have what? I don't even know what it is. It's like different cuts of the film. Just crap and BS. Halloween H2O I like. I mean, it's stupid that they could not figure out on a mask, so they have like 4 or 5 different ones. Yes, there's a little element of Scream, which I don't mind. I don't think that's a bad thing. But it has a great performance by Jamie Lee Curtis, has a worthy ending to the franchise, and it should have ended. Should have ended. No, instead, again, the opening of Halloween Resurrection is absolutely terrible. And considering how much of a kerfluffle it's been, I probably would hate that movie more now, but the goofiness of Busta Rhymes and all that does make me laugh, so at least there's entertainment to be had. There you go. Damn pincushion right into his eye. Ew, nice up close effect of that. This is where Michael Myers... Yeah, I love that shot. That's a beautiful shot. Just him coming right out of the shadows. And this is the death I was talking about where it's like... Oof. I don't know why. Just... Sometimes the simple things are just like... Because I can almost feel it. Like... I don't know why. I know it sounds stupid. But that was a beautiful shot. Like, come on. Like, that was really good shot where it just comes right out of the shadows. I thought that was really cool. Is there where Lance Diaz finds the big pile of blood? I think soon. Not yet. Because you still got to talk to her, and they still have a conversation for a bit because he can't find anybody. Yeah, this hospital is completely empty. Like, are there no other patients in this fucking place? Yeah, I know. But it's like, either A, you could have had Michael Myers kill a lot more people. But I love the... Maybe it's one of those, like, we're understaffed. Maybe they could have worked in the script where there's a new hospital being built and everyone is being moved there, but once in a while some people come here and we're trying to direct them, but if it's an absolute emergency, we'll take them in. So very, very few are there and we're understaffed. But it's like, there's a new hospital, that's where everybody's at, go there, that's where you need to go. Like maybe to make some kind of explanation. That's why this hospital is so run down. Does it? That's the new hospital. That has all the new shit. We're understaffed. We're just directing people to go there. Maybe somehow that could make a way to explain it. Maybe incorporate a little bit of that into it. Oh, okay, yeah, this is. They already had that conversation. This is where the girl going to get killed and her shoes going to fall. Or maybe not yet. Maybe. Try to remember. Maybe this is when she don't talk the last guest and they split up. Try to remember. I know pretty soon she's going to get killed. But also makes sense if it's a secret night. I mean, she's hurt. She fell down the stairs. She got stabbed. Of course she'd be wounded. She's not going to be a spry chicken. If she was, people would complain about that. Why is she in a hospital? Because look, did you see the ending of the first film? That's why. If it acted like nothing happened, people would complain about that. So, I didn't find that, I was fine with the way it was handled. You wanna know why? Because you can look at both of these films as one movie. Halloween and Halloween 2, you look at as one movie. And it's a pretty decent movie. No, I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't like these movies anyway. At least she's honest about it, but she'll admit she's not a horror movie fan. She doesn't like any of these movies. She'll give credit to Halloween because it launched her career, but she doesn't like The Fog. She said that in an interview. For The Fog, she said it was stupid. She doesn't like this film. She does not like Terror Train. She does not like Prom Night. She badmouthed Road Games for some reason. I don't know why. It's a good thriller with good acting. I mean, she'll talk good about Fish Called Wanda. She'll talk good about maybe True Lies. Maybe. Unless she changed her tune to that too. She seems like a lady I would never want to talk to anyway. She seems pretty stuck up. That's just my view on her. She just seems like a very stuck up lady. I mean, I have my qualms with Sigourney Weaver as well, but she seems like I would rather talk to her than Jamie Lee Curtis. Sigourney Weaver just doesn't seem as stuck up as Jamie Lee Curtis. Even though she did lead to the stupid Alien 3, but I don't know. I'd still be willing more to talk to Sigourney Weaver than Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis just seems more uptight, bitchy. There's a whole story with Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton. I mean, I'm not a Scout Taylor Compton fan, and I like Danielle Harris, but like they were invited to the Halloween Ends premiere, and I guess either no one told Jamie Lee Curtis or something else, and she was very nonchalant, like, nah, I didn't see your movies, I don't know who you are, and whatever, and that's just how she is, but I guess they took it too much to heart. I think one of them said they cried. Sorry, that's just how Jamie Lee Curtis is. Some would say suck it up, some would say tough shit, some would say that's too bad. Just how the cookie crumbles, so to speak. Yeah, I think this is where she gets killed. I think Jamie Lee Curtis come out, and she turns around, and he's like, Laurie. Okay, no, yeah, this is what I was talking about, the conversation they have. It's been a while since I've seen this, so bear with me. Because they're pretty much the only two left other than Laurie. As is when they talk to each other and don't split up. It's never a good idea to split up. But I like this lady. I forget her name, but she seemed like a very sweet lady. I mean, no, there's not a lot of development, but just... Not just because she's beautiful, but her presence, kind of a sweet nature. Oh, just something instantly likable that I feel bad when she dies. And yeah, I forget her name. I don't know if she's interviewed on here. I don't know if it's... I don't know. So is this when he finds the blood and he slips on it and bangs his head? Yeah. Because this is why when he gets into the car later he passes out because he banged his head, concussion, so he passes out. So I guess in the theatrical we're just supposed to think he died. But he didn't die. They cut the scene out where he... Now, I don't know if there'd be that much blood. Because there's a lot of fucking blood on the ground here. A lot of blood, especially from this one little tube. Like, would there be that much blood from that one little tube? It's kind of like... It makes the guy look like a fucking idiot to slip on the blood. But yeah, that was meant to be where he didn't die at the end. It's just, in a way, that's what made him survive, is because Michael Myers just assumed he died. And he'd be the false hope to get Jamie Lee Curtis out of there. And he seemed like, I don't know. Like I said, I would prefer it if you kept him at the end. Like, is there an edit of the film where it's like the theatrical cut of the film, but it's also stuff uncut? If that makes sense, like, it's the theatrical cut of the film, but you add all the scenes from the TV version into it. I'm just kind of wondering, is there a cut of that? I guess it'd be called the extended Halloween 2. I didn't like keep the door and all that stuff, but I didn't know all the stuff that's extended. I would assume there is, but I don't know. Because they didn't put it on here. As I says, the theatrical or the TV cut. And of course, don't get me started on Rob Zombie's Halloween films and David Gordon Green's crappy trilogy. Because I didn't like Halloween 2018. I remember everyone was, not everyone, but a lot of people were mad at me. A lot of people were mad at me that I didn't like the film. A lot of people were mad at me saying, well, you just wait. You see how he creates this beautiful trilogy. Yeah, what happened there? Yeah, here's the scene. Up, here you go. Oh, shit. Lifts her right up. Kind of interesting to see her point of view with the blurriness. And the shoes fall. Oh, shit. Yeah, I love the version of the store, like the Halloween theme in this. That she needs to get the fuck out of Dodge. As we're getting to our finale, we got about 23 minutes left. That's what the end credits and stuff, of course. This is pretty much the most that Jamie Lee Curtis gets to do is this finale. I think, some people just get upset because they would love to be in the position that some of these people were. I would love to be in the position to get to be in Halloween 1. Well, she's probably, but Halloween 2 and Terror Train and Road Games and The Fog and, a lot of them are pretty good movies, and, it's her opinion, but, I don't think they're as bad as she makes it out to be. Sorry, I'll take them all over Knives Out. Because Knives Out wasn't that impressive to me. I'm sorry. It's not the worst thing I've seen, but Knives Out wasn't that impressive to me. I don't think I hated it. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but it was Rian Johnson, a bit of his stink on it. That's why I don't care about the sequel. Get the hell out of there. Oh shit. Laying on boxes. Well, at least there was boxes to break the fall and just not a pile of nothing. And I've said before, you cannot do anything more with Halloween. That's why I say so many times about so many franchises, just stop. As John Rambo would say, let it go. Let it go. There's nothing more you can do with Halloween. This trilogy, this new one, showed it. Because all it did is redo stuff or reuse ideas or reuse motifs. Even the whole Corey being the killer, that was the ending of Halloween 4. And then a bit of Friday the 13th Part 5. I mean, you can't do anything more with it, dude. You can't. I like the red lighting in this. I think it sets a nice mood to it. That's why you shouldn't be walking, Michael. Now, I don't know how elevator doors work, because to be honest, I haven't been on many elevators. I've been on an elevator before, but I could count one hand. If you put your hand in, would it not stop the thing and open up again? Or would it still keep on closing? Like Michael Myers put his hand and it kept closed. But will I stop and open again? Like maybe a safety precaution so it doesn't crush someone? Or would it not? I don't know. Maybe 1981 is different from how it would be today. But yeah, the new David Gordon Green trilogy, that show, there's nothing more you can do. It would just regurgitate ideas and scenes from the older films. That's all it was. That's all it fucking was. We've seen Michael Myers go after family members, go after strangers, terrorize Haddonfield time and time again. Think about white horses. I mean, for fuck's sake, what else is there? What else is there? Unless you do something totally ridiculous that people wouldn't want to see. He goes into space. Well, Jason X already beat you to it. What else is there? There is nothing else. This is where he's going to be led. Well, he's going to be told about the sister. I do wonder what that green light is supposed to represent. There's a green light on the dashboard, by the wheel. They see the guy driving. Under the wheel is the green light. What is that meant to be? I guess the car instruments, I guess. I never thought of it as green before, but I guess. Of course, this is one of those shots where they're rocking the car a bit, and they're not really driving. It's just have something over here to have lights flash by as you rock the car a little bit to simulate them driving. That's why you see nothing in the back. They're in a black void. They're in the black hole. They're traveling to someone's black hole. It's really big. Then is where he finds out about the sister. And he makes a connection. Well, that's why Michael Myers came back. That's what he wants. Which I had no problem with. Some people did. I didn't have a problem with it. I really didn't. And then David Gordon Green's doing an Exorcist trilogy. Good luck with that. I'm not a big Exorcist fan. The only one I like is the third one. So, you guys have fun with that one. I love this bit coming up. What do they usually say? A fire warning shot? I love this right here. What do they usually say? A warning shot? That's kind of the equivalent of get your ass away from there in the first one. I love that. That's why I didn't understand Rob Zombie's comment when talking about how Donald Pleasence seemed like a crazed madman. Which one did he... If you watch Halloween 5, I get it. But if that's the only one he watched, then he watched the wrong one. Here's Lance Guest. I did it. He wasn't meant to die in this part. He was meant to pass out and then he'd be in the ambulance later. I did. It's on the TV cut. You can find it on YouTube. Because it's hit his head and he had a concussion. They put his key in the ignition. So then would he just push him out? Like put him out. Like would he just push him out and try to drive? Well, okay, she did try. See, that shows how long it's been since I've seen this. Okay, never mind. Forget what I said. Of course it doesn't turn for her. Of course not. So forget what I said. Okay, cool. I'm glad they did that. Oh, this is when she's crawling. And she's crawling for help. And she's ready to go, help me! Of course, it makes the audience mad. Because say it now. Say it now. What are you waiting for? Say it now, goddammit. What are you waiting for? Say it now, goddammit. Fucking say it. Say it. But, I mean, that's part of the suspense. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis did a good job with that. I mean, she showed nice, genuine emotion to that. At least I thought. Actually, I gotta do something real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry for this bit of weird edit, but I had to do something real quick. So I'm paused at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 28 seconds. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. As she's crawling to her hopeful redemption. Finally get your ass up and get the hell over there. Move it, goddammit, move it. Stop fucking around. You and your goddamn way to move it. Or lose it. That's a cool shot from far away to see him illuminated in red. Now, kind of like in the first one where she's pounding on the door of the house. Now she's pounding on the door to the hospital. Haddonfield Memorial. Use the Coca-Cola vending machine. Maybe that'll stop Michael Myers. This is what I'm talking about. It's great to finally see these two in the same frame, sharing the same screen. It's the only time in any of films this happened. The only time you got to see them in the same frame. There you go. Shoot the shit out of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Got him. Shot him to shit. And Donald, I mean, he's smart. Don't go near him. Stay away from him. And it seems like the guy's smart and fine. I'll do what you say. That's what I mean. It's so cool. This is what I like about the ending is that the two of them are together. It was so... I mean, I wish it was longer. I wish it was like the second half of the film where they talked to each other and you did a bit more and depth into their characters. That would have been very cool, but it's still great to see something. And yeah, Donald's just dumbfounded and even she's like trying to pull him along. I didn't just... two of my favorite people in the franchise... I love the look of Michael Myers. The hospital setting is dark and atmospheric. And the score is just top notch. I mean, my favorite finale probably of the franchise. I just wish Donald Pleasence's character survived. I mean, technically he does survive if you take Halloween 4 into consideration, but I just mean if he was able to survive this one. But at the same time, it's like a valid self-sacrifice as well. That's why, to me, honestly, you do say the whole franchise just ended here in 1981. Or maybe just Halloween H2O. And that's fine. It just... don't do anymore. That's the thing, you don't need to keep going. I know you think fans want that, but they really don't. I mean, what do I say? They made a lot of money. What am I talking about? Of course they do. What am I talking about? Scream 5 made how much money? Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills made so much money. Of course they want nostalgia. What am I talking about? I guess I'm just speaking for myself. As a fan, I'm telling you to stop. I know he gets wounded here, but it's sadly he gets wounded here, but I like that they both are like helping each other out. So it's not just he died and then that's it, we never see him again, but it's that he does try to help out. It's like a little bit almost of Friday the 13th Part 2 as well, where Amy Steele is trying to make him believe it's his mother, trying to reach to him. Here it's like as a sister trying to reach out. I do love that head tilt. That's a cool little moment. A slight moment. I swear it's almost as if the mask almost becomes softer in the eyes and then bullseye. One of my favorite images of the franchise is the blood leaking down. That's such a cool image. That's such a cool fucking image. Pretty damn good shot too. You have both bullseyes. And that's what I mean. They're both helping each other out. You listen to this, you do it over here. And then she's not like uncaring. She's like, no, I'm going to help him out too. You know what? He's helping me out. Let me help him out too. Not only do I get the idea he's doing, but let me help him out too. Unspoken, but you get the full meaning as well. That's the thing, like, Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't understand it wasn't just her that made the franchise, it was Donald Pleasence as well. It was the both of you. People don't just remember Laurie Strode, they remember Dr. Loomis. It was the two of you, not just one or the other. Pretty damn good explosion. All done practical for real. No CGI enhancements. Nowadays they try to throw like CGI dust or CGI spurts of this and that, which would just take away the impact of the scene. No, if you don't do explosion, do it all practical. Don't enhance it, because it's that opposite. It doesn't enhance it, it distracts it. And that's not easy for a stunt person. Set myself on fire this heavily. I mean, can you imagine all this fire around you, the back of your head worry, when's this going to burn me? I know it's going to burn me somehow. When's it going to burn me? And see, look, it goes like how hollow that face is now. Yeah, there's nothing left of the guy. Unfortunately, there's no way Donald Pleasence's character will live as well. You look at Halloween 4, he has a couple burns. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, again, in this ambulance, we would see Lance Guest's character. Like, she's being wheeled in, and Lance Guest would be in the same ambulance. Now, I don't know if they would be in the same ambulance. They would be in different ones. Plus, I kind of wonder which hospital are they going now. Because, like, wait, you take me to the hospital? We just left the hospital, god damn it. We just left the fucking hospital. Now where are you taking me? Obviously a different one. It just says ambulance. It like doesn't even say a city or a county. It just says ambulance. But as Mr. Sandman's ready to play, really foggy. But you would see a figure rise, and I guess she'd be scared for a split second as Michael Myers and its Lance Guest, and she'd mention we made it. But I guess they thought, people not gonna care about Lance Guest. But I thought it would have been a nice thing. I think it would have been fine to have that in there. I would have liked it. But they decided not to. Finally, Charles Cypher's his third build, but he's barely in the film. Pamela Susan Shoop. Tawny Moyer. Nancy Stevens. I can't remember which one is the one. See, assistant Dana Carvey. Nancy Loomis coming back from the first movie, only here playing a dead body. But yeah, overall, still really solid sequel. Tony Moran, I've heard stories about him. He's a total piece of crap, for what I understand. They could spend another 20 minutes on Tony Moran. Just look up Tony Moran on YouTube, you know what I mean. Apparently he's a big piece of crap. But with that said, thanks for watching. Thanks once again, Shawn. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.